Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. There's a new fad coming down. This is where smartwatches are starting to be bundled with extra memory so they can be used as a music player or onboard voice recorder in addition to all the other fitness type stuff. What we've got here are two new watches in that category that are going to blow you away in how they handle Bluetooth connectivity for music playing and recording. This is the MT2. It's a small Apple size and shape type watch, inexpensive, 4 gigabytes of memory. This puppy, if you can afford it, is beautiful, round, solid 8 gigabytes of storage. We're going to review both of them. You ready? Which one you want to start with? Sure. For the budget-minded, the MT2 smartwatch has got all kinds of capabilities to it and enough memory to put tons and tons of songs. Really does. I mean, 4 gigabytes is plenty. Here we go. The basic watch has a removable TPU band. It's solid and sealed. You've got the microphone here, speaker port right there. It does Bluetooth calling, one single knob, heart rate sensors, charging port, everything you need. And it comes to us from our partner CAFAGO. CAFAGO. MT2 fitness tracker bracelet, so forth, with Bluetooth call, heart rate, blood pressure, all of the typical things you find. And check it out, under $30. Under $30 for a watch with 4 gigabytes of storage in it. Now, of course, it's not like high-end zinc alloy casing. It's pretty much a plastic watch, but it does, because of its pricing, bring you lots of capabilities in terms of using it as a music player or voice recorder or phone. Yeah, here you go. On board, it's got 8 sporting modes, so you can use it for all of your monitoring of that. Steps, mileage, calories, outdoor exercising. No GPS, okay? But it does do all of the typical type stuff. You can do heart rate, blood pressure, blood oxygen. Not calibrated and checked, of course, so you got to test those numbers against your own calibrated equipment. But it does do those readings. It can track your sleep time and give you an estimate on quality of sleep, and synchronize to the app. The Bluetooth music control is really interesting. You can set it up to play the music from your phone through the watch if you want to stream. You can load up up to 4 gigabytes of storage of songs in the device itself and play them through the built-in speaker. And it's a 1.28-inch color screen on top of this one. Or you can set it up to Bluetooth the music to earbuds or an external speaker or your car speaker if you want to. 1,000 songs plus if you want to. You're using the Deary Fit app to connect with, and here's your basic specs on it. It says it's using Bluetooth 4. I wish it was 5, but it's 4, but it is what I've tested. It's good connectivity. I'm getting at least 15 feet away or more before it starts to fade out, so having it on your arm and wearing Bluetooth earbuds is not going to be a problem. Tethering to your phone, same kind of thing. Anything else? You can get it in black and red. It says IP67. Still don't get it underwater, okay? But you should be basically splash proof. And that's it. Underneath the case now, we have the charging wire, which is a 4-pin, because this is what you're going to use to transfer your songs. When you connect it up, and it's pretty sturdy, it's going to hold the watch. Connect it to your computer, go into your music folder, and just drag and drop your songs directly into the watch. And when you get into the player, it'll play them. We'll show you that in a little bit. You've got a quality control sticker in here and a user's manual in Chinese and English. Give you a quick look through of that. The app is interesting. It's called Deary Fit. And tethering this puppy is a little awkward with this one. You have to go through and first install and tether the app, okay, to the watch. But you're not going to be able to really move forward with the watch until you also tether the Bluetooth directly so that the watch is connected for making and receiving calls or streaming music. So there's two Bluetooth connections, and once you have both of them done, then you can get into the watch face. Typically, you can just pair the app and not have to worry about the phone connection, but on this one you got to do both, so don't get stumped there. This is so odd and different, both of these watches we're talking about, that there are places you can really get caught up. I did, and you got to know how to get around them. This is one of them. Getting it actually to a watch face requires two Bluetooth connections. Once you do, here's some diagrams of the screens you see. You've got a really interesting user interface for going between the different apps that are installed. You'll see that. FAQs, but unfortunately they're not the kind of FAQs that are covering the information that I was getting stumped with. They're kind of more generic, so I'm going to guide you through that as we go along. All right, let's give it a whirl, see what it does. So press the button and hold, and it'll pop on with a hello and then the opening watch face. You might notice I got little scuffs and things on the screen already. I've been wearing it and using it, and it is plastic, so yeah, it's a hardened plastic, but it's a plastic watch. We're looking at under $30 for all of this with 4 GB of memory. So it's a basic entry-level watch, mostly for this music player, voice recorder, and Bluetooth calling. It has good loud volume. It's really worth it. Now, when you slide down, you get these basic controls. Do not disturb. Your brightness, it's at full brightness there. I can lower it down to right here. When it's in full brightness, you can see it outdoors, so it's pretty good and bright. Okay, it already popped into its app drawer there, so we'll bring it back home so we can keep going. Bluetooth connectivity, and then this is where you've got the display timeout. And I'm going to raise it as much as possible. What's nice about this is if you really need the display on, you can do it right from there, and it can go as low as like 3 seconds. So for our practice here of not having it constantly time out, I set it high. And Bluetooth is for connecting to your app and to the phone connectivity as well. Go this way, any pushes from the phone to your watch will show up here, notifications, come up, and now you get into these different tiles. The music player, really going to spend some time on that. Calling, for Bluetooth calling, tethered to your phone. Recording, for making voice recordings. Those three things, really, really good features here. Your overall step count, I haven't worn it today. I did day before yesterday, and I'll show you that in the app. But I've switched back and forth between these. Sleep time, nothing on here either for last night because I was wearing the MT3 instead of the MT2. Here's your heart rate measurement, and it's using green diode technology. You come in here and you've got your running, walking, your activity log. And I guess that's it. Is that it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... and then back again. Okay, so blood pressure and blood oxygen we get over here when we swipe this way. Here are the different cards. There's the same kind of thing we already saw, that you're running and walking stuff. This is your music player, which we'll be talking about, phone, and then this is your workout stuff. So all of the things we saw in the cards you see on this first tab. Heart rate, here's blood oxygen, come in here. It's using green diode, not red diode technology. So we'd like to see the red diode, but again, it's an inexpensive beginner's watch. Here's blood pressure. It'll measure your systolic, diastolic using the green diode as well. And again, don't rely on any of the information for making health decisions. Use it as an adjunct or information to guide you to take more detailed measurements. Last night's sleep time would show there. So this is all kind of your vitals stuff. Then you get into alarm clocks that you can set. Your display that we already saw, a stopwatch built into this thing, and when you leave it and come back into it, it resets it. Then you've got setting your date and time manually if you want to. So it's ironic, you can't get even to the watch face without pairing to the app and pairing to the phone. But if you do get to this point, you can change the settings if you want to, different than what your phone automatically sets for you. Here's the different languages this watch supports. And that's it. Very limited. But if that's one of your languages, you're good to go. You have sedentary reminders you can set. This is drink water, although it looks like a cup of coffee or tea to me. And here's your overall brightness. We already talked about that. This is your watch faces that we have. You saw the first one, so I'm going to come up to a different one just to bring it up to give you an idea. We'll end up going through them all. And that was from here. This is the QR code scanning to get the app that you can download, so you don't need your manual if you forget. This is connecting to the app. You can use it as a remote camera switch to take pictures. And then this here is your messages pushed from your phone, which we got from the watch face by swiping to the right, if you recall. Here's our Do Not Disturb, which you also had that little switch on when you pulled down. Here's information about the watch, the MT2, Bluetooth connectivity. Come in here, make sure it's turned on, and that way you can do all of that stuff. And call ring is interesting. If you activate this and a call comes into your phone, this puppy will ring loud on your arm so you know you're receiving a call. And of course, then you can see if you've synced your contacts, who it is, answer it or reject it, whatever you want. With it turned off, you'll still get the notification the call is coming in just like you do on your phone, but you won't hear the big loud ring. That's new. I like that. That's very new on this one. And that was under the Bluetooth. This down here is your basic shutdown, restart, or reset the watch back to its original layout. And that's it for all of the installed apps in it. So we've covered everything in the watch except for the music player and the app. Let me start in on this. I guess we didn't do the recording either. Let's talk about the music player. You notice this little area here, and there's an icon in the upper right-hand corner. The first one that it goes into is Bluetooth tethered music from your phone. When you're here, you should be able to hit play. It should start playing the music that you have queued up and working. If you're in Spotify or Pandora or some news streaming service, whatever you're set up on your phone, I keep pointing over here because I'm talking about my phone, whatever you have set up in your phone will stream here. You can go forward and back. You can change the volume louder or softer. I like to keep it up all the way, and it'll play out of the speaker. When you press here and go to SD mode, you see the icon changes, and all of a sudden now we are in different songs. And I'm actually in an album that I've installed here. I'm going to go back to, here we go. And here's what it sounds like. Well, something louder perhaps. I've got all these demons hiding underneath. Nobody can see them, nobody but me. Okay, so that's music in the phone and in the watch playing out of the speaker. The last one, and this is what's wild, is the earbuds. You see I get a headphone icon here. Now it is connected to earbuds, but I haven't connected the watch to earbuds yet. So what? I hit the play and it won't play. It's in the pairing mode, the watch is. Now, you've seen this before. You've done this on your own phone. When you're pairing Bluetooth, you have to go into Bluetooth. You have to activate it. You have to wait for it to bring up the list of all of the devices it's in range. You find the one that is the thing you're pairing to. You click it. It asks you, do you want to pair on both devices? You say yes, yes, and all of a sudden you've got this bonded relationship, and it's paired. It's not that way with this one. This one, you take your earbuds, okay, I'm just going to simulate it now, because we'll be doing this for real on the next review of the MT3, but just to show you how it would work. I pop these puppies out, and they're not paired to anything. So they're sitting out there broadcasting their existence, saying, ready to pair, ready to pair. You've seen it, the blue and red light, they flicker back and forth. This thing is waiting to find earbuds to pair. But unlike normal, you don't do this manually. When earbuds are within range and are ready to pair, this will automatically pair to them. Yep. Grab this off your shelf, throw it in your pocket, go out with your watch. When you're ready, pop them in your ear, switch to this mode, and it'll automatically pair, even if you've never paired them to the watch before, as long as they're not paired to something else. You know, kind of like relationships. If this thing's married, you don't want to fool around with it. But if it's single, you can pair with it if you want to. So that's the revolutionary new way that this thing actually handles Bluetooth earbud, TWS, car stereo, whatever, spare speaker, broadcasting directly from your arm of all the music in the 4 gigabytes installed for under $30. That's really, really sweet. That's the music player. But there's more. Oh, while we're here, let me switch back to SD mode so that I can come into the recorder. The call is the call. You come in here and you can dial, you can go into your contacts, and it's Bluetooth calling with the phone, and it's clear. You can hear them good. They can hear you good. We're not going to demo that, but I am going to show you the recording. Now I got to start it. We're actually recording a little segment here on the MT2 smartwatch using the built-in recorder to test it out. I stop it, and it just goes back here. Now, the ironic thing is there's no, I can't select it and play it right from the recording. I actually have to go back to the music player. Then, it switched back to the phone tethering automatically. I come over to here, and now I switch to there. Actually recording a little segment here on the MT2 smartwatch using the built-in recorder to test it out. I stop it. Okay, you hear that? So the recording is there. There's more music. And you can fast forward, of course, to a new song. Anyway, love it, love it, love it. In the mix of your songs, you'll see this when you tether it to your phone or connect it to your phone with the wire, and you'll see a folder with all of your recordings in there, sequenced from 1, 2, 3, 4 up. No date or time on it, but just the file names. And, of course, you can drag it off of the watch onto your computer simply by connecting it up. You can go both ways. You can dump music in here. You can dump your recordings out. The recordings are stored on the watch. You've got plenty of space. I did a 4-hour recording on this one last night just for fun to see how it would work. And it's basically recording 1 megabyte per minute, roughly. Actually, a little less. So 60 minutes is 60 megabytes. There's 1,000 megabytes in a gigabyte, right? And there's 4 gigabytes on here. So you have plenty. The battery will probably die before you'll run out of space to hold recordings. So if you want to just have this thing running and recording your whole day, and then later go back and get segments of conversations with people, you can do that. And it actually kind of does it in the background. If you're in the recording set like this and you start it, when the watch times out, and that's why you set it for a long or a short timeout, whatever, it will just go black, but it'll be recording in the background. If you press the side button to exit and turn the watch off, well, first of all, you can't really do that until you get all the way back to the watch face. And secondly, the first time you pressed it, it stopped the recording. So just set it on a 3-second timeout, start your recording, it goes to the black screen. When you touch it again, it brings it back to the recording, and you could pause it, or you can see how much you've recorded or whatever, and when it times out, it goes black again. And you got yourself an ARM-based recorder that you can carry along with you. Speaking of, I haven't showed it to you on, so let's do that. The last thing before we switch to the app. Was that clear on how you tether the earbuds to this watch? It is an automatic process. There you go. Really thin, really nice, nice design. And honestly, for about $30, take care of it, be gentle with it. You're going to have yourself a really nice voice recorder and music player. Yeah, app called Deary Fit. This is what it looks like in the Google Play Store. You open it, you get into it. Now, this is kind of a nice COVID-related watch in that your heart rate, blood oxygen, and blood pressure, you can do a measurement directly from the device here. But it's not connected. That's right. The other one, the MT3 is connected right now, so I can't do the measurements on it. Both watches connect to the same app, and so I've had to go back and forth between them. So what I can do is I can show you some results. Sleep time looks like this when you get into it. You can touch on a specific area, and it's going to tell you the type of sleep and the time frame, your overall duration. And when you get actually into it, you get the day, week, and month summary. So this is the reading I got last night with the MT3. This is what I got the night before with this watch, the MT2. Very similar, and a nice display overall on that. This is showing you just to take a measurement for heart rate, blood oxygen, and blood pressure, and it's only showing you the last result on the screen. I'm not finding continuous monitoring of any of those, which is unfortunate. And up here is your overall step stuff. It shows you weekly. What's cool is it gives you averages over the days that you've done it. So here's yesterday on the MT2 on this watch. This is so far today. I've taken it off, of course, on the MT3. They're getting ready for that review next. And this is basically the data that you get on that. And training, haven't done anything really with this, but this is where you have those 8 different training capabilities that you can track on it as well. When you get in here, you see it's trying to connect to the MT3. You have access to all of these things. It tells you your battery level. You can find the device. We'll go into this more in the next review because it'll be connected there. And under you can set up yourself, your profile. I set it for gender female in case it had period tracking. Turns out it does not. What's cool, though, is you can change your measurements, so you don't have to figure your height and weight out in centimeters and pounds or kilograms, for example. So that's available here. And then the overall about gives you a chance to do feedback, and you can also check for firmware updates, of which I did have one on this watch. So make sure if you get the MT2 and the MT3, you go into the upgrade and you check on that. One other thing in the devices, and I'm not seeing it here, but I'll show you on the other one, you get an entry for other dial faces. And you can download some dial faces to the watch too separately. And speaking of, let's just end this with a look at some of the dial faces. You've seen that first one. Here's another one that's got some data on it like that. Here's a analog one, and it's got complications in the corners, but they're not touchable. They're not hot spots. It's just a watch face simulating that. There's a colorful scene. And then there's the one that we started the video with. So all of these are available. It's nice, bright contrast, white against black, easy to see outdoors. That's about it for the watch. Again, it's the MT2. That's what we're looking for from CAFAGO. About $30. It's in flash sale. It's got over a month yet to go at the point that I'm doing this video. But when you see it, it still should be in flash sale. If it falls out, check down in the show notes and I'll try to have a coupon for you to keep the price down, hopefully under $30. But for right now, I'm telling you, for all the things that this can do, and especially the music player, the voice recording, the phone call capability, Bluetooth calling, really, really a nice deal and something worthy of checking out. All right, gang, we'll see you again soon, and thanks for watching.